Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Lindley, if you don't know my name. This is my ePortfolio presentation. I have to apologize for the poor graphics. I'm using a Google Chromebook, and I will also apologize for any stammering, any dry mouth. It is very late, and I am very tired, and I think we can all agree on that. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. Let's see, screen share. Yes, please. Okay, cool. I believe, let's click right here. Oh, that's everything I didn't want to see. Where did it go? Right here. This will work just fine, I think. If I can click on. Oh boy, I am so sorry. I thought this was going to be right there. I think I had exited out of what I was trying to do. All right, we're going to hide that. Here we are is my intro, my pre-professional profile. It says, hello, my name is Caitlin Lindley. I'm currently a student enrolled in the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, graduated Alma High School, and went straight to pursuing my teaching career. I'm not going to read all of the next one. It was quite a bit. But here you can see my previous teaching philosophy. I had that on my PLN. This here is my new picture. And yes, I did take that today, and I'm very proud of it. This right here is just a bit more of my teaching philosophy, just a little bit of just some things that I've learned, really, just things I've picked up. I really hope this is recording. Is this recording? Oops, don't do this to me. Oopsies. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Here are my lesson plans. We could go through them. I'll just show you my favorite one. It is probably this one. This is one that I've actually witnessed or was introduced to. My mother is a second grade teacher for Alma Primary School. And this is something I've watched her do with her own class. It's basically, I called it group reading. Essentially, what you're doing is you're assessing. Overall, this is like one big assessment, but you can do a whole lot more with it. You start off by reading along with the story with your class, and you basically, it's just reading comprehension, essentially. You read along with your class, and you just, you assess them and seeing if they can pick up key points of the story, and if they can retell the story back to you. It's kind of self-explanatory. That's why I'm stumbling over the explanation. I just didn't have to read it out loud before, and now I do. And it's different. Okay, so there's that. Oh dear. And then the second one here, Fabulous Fables. I wish it would just pop right up, but you gotta click a million different things. I'll just show you these two. These were my favorite two. Fabulous Fables is a little easier for me to explain. Basically, what you do is you go over fables, really. You explain what those are, and you give the students the opportunity to create their own and share them with the class. And I think that is a lot of fun, and it gives us a way, it gives us the opportunity to let our students be creative and just have fun with reading and storytelling. And I think that is so important for students to just, be able to get creative, because, I mean, they only get to be a kid once. I think that they should be a kid while they can be a kid, because they don't get to be that again. Anyway, here we have my assessments. I chose something kind of unique. Oh, it might be unique and it might not be. I only know from my own experience and perhaps the experience of my peers. I chose a thing called Bell Work for my pre-assessment. Bell Work is basically, it's kind of what it sounds like. After the bell, students should have this assignment started or finished. You don't have to, this should be a thing that you don't have to prompt the students to do. They should already do this as soon as they come in the classroom. It's kind of a procedural, it's a procedure type thing. The students should just automatically do it. You don't have to prompt them. They should know what to do, where to turn it in, things like that. And that is all right here. It's also a bit of a, okay, this is pre-assessment. It's just like a quiz of some sort, and it's like a review, I guess, would be the best way to explain it. And this here, I really pondered over putting this as my summative assessment. However, for my summative assessment, I had something else that I was really, really, really excited to write about. But as for the formative assessment, I went ahead and put Jeopardy because that was also something I was very excited to put in here. Everybody knows what Jeopardy is, and I think it's a great and fun way to have the students connected and engaged with each other as well as the teacher, because obviously you would be the one that is controlling the game board, and you know what the questions are and the answers, and you give the students the opportunity to just get kind of crazy and fun and answer the questions with groups. And it gives them the chance to talk to you and to kind of lead themselves. And yes, I did cross out the questions up here. I think that one was like Rick and Morty or something like that. I just went ahead and crossed them out, and I didn't put anything up there. This is what I was actually really excited to share. I think this is kind of fun. And I did make this myself. This is called the exit slip, and it's a way to assess the class knowledge at the end of the day after you've already given your lessons, after we've already discussed with the class. This is just a way to see which students might be lagging behind, which students might be, on the right track, that sort of thing. And you don't have to call it an exit slip. This is what I thought was really fun. You can actually name these whatever you want. I mean, obviously you can name these whatever you'd like, such as if your classroom theme, like I had a teacher one time, her name was Mrs. Burger, and her classroom theme was burgers. And I would like to think that if she were to do an exit slip sort of summative assessment, I like to think that she would give us like a meal ticket or something like that for her exit slip. And basically what you do is you just you write a question on the slip, and then they give an answer, and then they turn it in to a tray or to you if you prefer it that way. And I think that is just really fun. You can make it cute or whatever you like to do. I mean, that's something you can do whatever you like with. Excuse me. My resources. This was actually a lot of fun to mess around with and explore. As for my speech to text, I chose this it's a Just Press record. It is an app, despite the misguiding picture. I believe that's an Apple Watch, because it is strictly an Apple app, so to speak. And it speaks for itself. You press a button, and the app will transcribe voice to text for you. It's easy. It syncs to iCloud, and you can use pretty much any iOS product with it. And unfortunately, it is a non-Android, but I do have an Android technology tool. It is called Speech Notes, and it's pretty much the same. If you're familiar with the Google version of speech to text, I believe that's the title of it. It's about the same thing, and it even says, let's see if I can click on it. Actually, I put the websites down here to show you. It kind of prides itself on being a Google-based technological tool. I don't see where does it say Google? It's pretty much the first thing I read on it, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it does exactly what it says. It takes speech and puts it into text. I'm not seeing the Google thing. I found this link on Google, actually. There it is, right here. In fact, all of your speech is sent to Google, right here. Yeah, Speech Notes is based on Google's high-end speech recognition engines. I thought that was pretty neat. And I mean, everybody trusts Google, so why not trust this product as well? Not trying to sell it, just no sponsor. Timmy, I'm very disappointed that this did not show up. It's supposed to be a little, there you are. It's a little creature, alien of some sort. That's not what matters though. Timmy is sort of a higher up tool. Timmy costs money, whereas the other two do not. And it does just about the same thing. However, there's a few more components that Timmy has. If it'll load. Let's see, yes. Advanced speech recognition. You can upload audio and video files to Timmy, and Timmy will transcribe those video files for you. You may also put in timestamps and speakers. You can save and export this transcript to these type of documents here. You can, yeah, it says the accuracy is 90 to 95%. That's pretty good. You get a free trial and then 10 cents per audio minute. No subscriptions, minimum. Yeah. It's really cool, I think. And it looks like it's pretty easy to use, which is my favorite quality about any technology tool. And down here we have text to speech. Oh no, it made it small. That was supposed to be big. Yikes. Natural Readers was my first technology tool. Natural Readers was, I mean, it was really easy to use. My favorite part was you can drag the text that you want converted and drop it in there, which is very interesting to me. I personally don't see a lot of technology tools that do that for you. So that was very refreshing to see. Text to speech is about the same. I mean, of course, all three of these are going to do the same thing. The only differences between them are extra components with them or less components, or maybe one is easier to read or see, and it explains it all right here. This one, I liked this a lot because I'm kind of a sucker for Apple products, mainly because they all can connect to each other. You can have one thing on an Apple product and that same thing on another Apple product. Like, let's say I'm trying to give a presentation on my iPad and I want to connect it to, to send that presentation to my iPhone. I can just have the iCloud up and voila, there you go. For my assistive technology for teachers, I wanted to use tools that I have seen other teachers use, such as my mom, and my own teachers that taught me as I was growing up. My favorite, or not my favorite one, but the first thing that came to my mind was a timer. Timers can be used for your own personal time management or for your students' time management. Let's say one thing that I used in my my preschool classroom, I taught preschool for a year, and a timer was very useful during my preschool days. I used it for switching out on activity. Pardon me, I'm stammering. I used the timer to time the students on how long they got to spend in a certain area. Let's say we had little Timmy, he's playing in the dramatic play, and I said, okay, you get 30 minutes in dramatic play, then you have to switch out with Johnny over here. He's playing with math blocks. And then after the 30-minute timer starts going off, they know, oh, that's 30 minutes. It's time to switch. The second tool that I used was a smartboard. We're all familiar with the smartboard. I feel like I don't have to explain too much on that. And we all know the usefulness. It's got the touch screen with the pen and the projection aspect. And a Scantron. I can only imagine the first teacher to use a Scantron. I can just imagine the whoops of excitement over not having to slave over hand grading. I feel like this has pros and cons. Yes, the Scantron does grade quickly and accurately. However, you do not get to see the student's handwork. You don't get to see their thought process, their writings, their drawings. So that it takes away some, but it also adds to some. And I think that goes along with just about any technological tool. Let's see, I did assessments. Classroom management. Ooh, this is going to be fun. I loved doing this because I love to create things. So that's what I did. I created my own posters. Oh, that should have been indented. Dadgummit. Okay, so I tried to keep mine very simple. This is most likely not the exact rule poster that I would have for my imaginary classroom. This is just an example of what this would look like. I wanted to keep it simple. I want to keep it short. And I try not to make it sound like you will put your hands in your lap. You will do this. You will do that. That sounds more like a command. The students should feel like it's their choice, to follow the rules, because if they follow the rules, they get the good consequence. They get the positive reinforcement. They get the positive consequences. So this is more of a guidelines of what the rules are in the classroom, and it's kind of like I said, if you follow these rules, you get these privileges. You get to enjoy the peaceful, positive classroom atmosphere. And like I said, I keep the rule. I typed that all down here. I keep the rules short and simple, easy to read. I feel like putting things like "I will keep my hands to myself," blah blah blah, is getting. And yes, it is too detailed, and we shouldn't have so many rules. I noticed sometimes with teachers, they will put maybe 10, 15 rules up here. If I were a student in that classroom with so many rules like that, it would be kind of hard. I feel like it would be a bit of pressure on me as a student to keep up with all these rules. And honestly, I probably wouldn't remember them all. Procedures, I try to keep the same. I made it a point to highlight or bold specific word or specific actions, because I want the students to remember those specific, like that's the key point of this procedure. When we are walking into the classroom, we use the inside voice. When you must sit at your like that's the procedure. You walk and then you sit and you start your work. And then backpacks was just highlighted to remind the student, like when they see the bolded word backpacks, they're going to say, oh, I need to put my backpack away. When they see the word work, they go, oh, I need to pull my work out of my desk. And when they see the word sit, they say, oh, yes, that's right. When I sit down, that means I'm ready to work. And I feel like I explained that here. This one made me sad. I put little rain clouds. Again, I tried to keep it simple. I tried to keep it short and to the point. Like I said, these are probably not exactly what I would have in my real life classroom. I think that rules and procedures and consequences will vary within the different classrooms and different atmospheres and different schools that you go to. Here at the bottom, I didn't have a cute little poster for this one. I just went ahead and typed in the tools that I liked, that were my favorites. Smartboard, of course, laptops, of course. Like I said before, I think that things like these will vary in whatever school, whatever classroom that you end up having. But I think that every school, every classroom should at least have a smartboard or a laptop if they so can, um, because I think that it is important for students to be able to see what the teacher's doing on their technology, on their computer or whatnot. And I think it's important for a student to be able to have digital technology. I think this is a very important communicative tool. I think it's a very important filing organizational tool. Um, that's just my personal belief. And of course, I put LiveText, Google Classroom, and Kahoot here for the more online technological tools that I felt were important to integrate in a classroom, mainly because Kahoot is a very fun assessment tool. Google Classroom is a very easy to use organizational tool that connects both teacher and student. Um, LiveText, for obvious reasons, it's easy, it's organized, and I very much enjoyed operating it. I believe that is everything. Let me see how I can do this. That's not what I'm wanting to do. Oh. Oh, am I doing it? Am I doing it? All right. That's not what I meant to do either. Is it? Oh boy. Oh, here I am. All right. Thank you. You saw my pajamas. Oops. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you have any questions or if you would like to see more of what I have posted on my portfolio, I would be very happy to share with you, and I'd be very happy to discuss anything that you see that you may have questions over. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you.